Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Dr. Cammie and Karen Go Keto, where Dr. Cammie and I are transitioning to a ketogenic / carnivore lifestyle from basically a standard American diet. Dr. Cammie, what are we going to talk about today?
Hi, everybody. Hi, Karen. We are going to talk today about, are you up to what you say you're up to? What is it? Part of the 4 agreements, being impeccable with your word. So that's one of the 4 agreements. And how impeccable are you with your word? So I can't remember when it was, Karen. It was, I don't know, a couple, 12, maybe like 10 days ago. I don't know. Here, I have the date on here. This says January 22nd. Karen sent me a 21-day carnivore transition plan, and I agreed to this plan. And there were 5 things that were talked about the plan overview. The first one was blocked time in your calendar to plan during the week. The second one was daily food journal. The third one was daily check-ins. The fourth one was a grace video before each meal. And the fifth one was daily routine or learning and motivation. And what that was where Karen was going to send me videos, or I was going to look up videos and watch 30 minutes a day on carnivore and listen to YouTube doctors and other people that are out there supporting the carnivore lifestyle. So that was the 22nd of January. So I have to say that 12, 13, 14, 15, in a little bit over 2 weeks, I've basically not been doing these things. And I agreed to the plan. So that is lack of integrity with my word. That is not doing what I said I was up to doing. And, my reasoning is, well, I'm eating carnivore because I've been doing well with the carnivore diet, a pretty strict carnivore diet. But when is that going to crumble? How long is it going to take for that to crumble because I'm not supporting myself in the things that will support me? And Karen, I asked her, I said, why, how come you're my friend? And she says, because I love you so much. And she's supporting what I want to have done, because I said, it must be really frustrating for you when I say I'm going to do these things and I don't do them. So I'm going on the YouTube channel to say I'm going to start doing these things, and that will support me in getting done what I'm planning. Excuse me.
So, I think we have I have mentioned my LT60 plan, right, on our channel before. So,
Yes, it's been a while.
okay, so for those of you who don't know, LT67 is a um, productivity strategy that I'm designing it stands for Life Transitions 67 paradigm. And it is to help people make major life transitions in 67 days. And it was inspired by my husband, who tomorrow will be the 3rd anniversary of the day that he went into the hospital, having no symptoms. He had some rectal bleeding on February 6th, 2022, went into the hospital, and he died 67 days later from a rare and aggressive stage 4 colorectal cancer. And what I'm hoping that people learn from this LT67 is that you can change your life beyond belief in just 67 days. I watched it happen with my husband. He went from our normal everyday life on February 5th to no longer being alive on April 13th. And of course, that's not what I want the world to experience. I want the world to experience the life changes that they really want to have occur. So since you're acknowledging that you did not do the plan, let this be your first cycle of LT67 and see if you can stick to it for 67 days.
I love it. I love it. I am game. I am game. And does it start today or tomorrow?
It starts tomorrow. And tomorrow is like a real intensive LT67. I did my very first LT67 paradigm cycle the last 67 days. But what I did do is I cut out diet soda. I became much more productive in just creating order in my home and my area, my bedroom, my home office. somewhat in the living room and the rest of the house. And I really started to commit to the carnivore lifestyle. And so I started to eat steaks, which was something I did not do beforehand. So those are the things that I did in the first cycle. So the second cycle is somewhat similar, kind of a little more honing those things and then bringing in some other things as well.
And we do have to acknowledge, I want to really acknowledge that the no soda is huge. It's huge for both of us. And I don't drink soda anymore. I just don't even think about it. And I used to
Weird.
It's weird.
And it's weird that I still have, because my brother has bought soda and it's in the refrigerator, and I don't have the same thoughts about it that I did before, which I attribute that to the eating the steak and not to not drinking the soda.
Yeah, but good for you, Karen, because that's tough. I live alone except for my kitty, Charlie. And so it's easy for me to not have it in my house. So good for you that it's not there. And it is weird. It's weird to be driving by a McDonald's and you don't think like, oh, I could go get this or I could go get that or.
It is strange to have the idea that there's no reason to go to McDonald's anymore.
Well, you're still drinking iced tea, right?
Yeah, but I just don't go to McDonald's for it.
Huh?
I've been drinking it at home. Another strange, another thing, another habit. So
go ahead.
I'm hopeful that one of the things I want to add to my LT67 really is committing to eating at home. I think, but it's intense for me this year, this cycle especially, because I am going to do a daily journal entry of what life was like 3 years ago, because there's a lot of PTSD feeling about when Tim was sick, because we thought he was we knew that he was terminal on the 6th, basically, of February, certainly by the 7th of February. But we thought, well, you just got sick, you got chemo, you didn't feel good. And however long the chemo could keep you alive, you stayed alive and then you died. And that's not how it went for Tim. Tim had a couple of colon surgeries. He had his colon rested and was on a liquid diet for 30 days. He had back surgery to have part of his spine removed so that he could let the lesions stop putting pressure on his nerves. And each time he was in the hospital for weeks, he had to recover. He had to learn to walk each time. And he also started to have uncontrollable bowel issues, which really made him a sad person. And he had hospital-induced confusion, which was difficult to deal with. And so it was not just, it was when you say that people, he was surrounded by his loved ones when he died peacefully. I can say that the 2 days that he was home from the hospital and home on hospice care, his loved ones were surrounding him. I do not know how I could say it was actually peaceful. When you're on like 5 different mega drugs, morphine, diazepam, lorazepam. I mean, it was heartbreaking.
To help them.
It was heartbreaking.
So my question to you is, would you like to make any kind of commitment as far as eating home? Like you'll eat so many meals home or you'll eat out?
No, I'm not ready to do a numerical or quantitative assessment yet. I think it's just going to be, let's see what becomes a little easier. Or I'm kind of thinking if the journal entries are harder, it might make eating home easier. I don't know. A lot of it has to do with my mom's situation as well, because my brother's here. Sometimes my mom is in the living room. Sometimes my mom is in her bedroom, and she's confined to a wheelchair right now, and her recovery is paramount. So my time away is sometimes a critical time, and whether I'm eating during that time, I think I can say I will commit to doing a 24-hour fast, like at least one OMAD a week.
Okay. That sounds great. One OMAD a week. Mm-hmm. And the other thing I wanted to touch on quickly was that in the conversations that Karen and I were having before we recorded today was how one of the things, in perfect addict form, I will say, I want what I want when I want it. And having goals and looking at what you're really up to for the long term is sometimes different for me than what I want when I want it. And so making the commitment to say, no, I'm not going to eat that because that's not on my food plan like I did this morning. Committing myself to a long-term plan is something that you can follow us with too, because I know I'm not the only one that struggles out there with wanting what I want when I want it. And making a long-term commitment and goal of being dedicated to that goal is something that we can all work on.
I agree. Let's do it.
All right, let's do it. We're starting. So tomorrow, 67 days. I haven't looked on my calendar, but I'm really looking forward to it and I'm excited.
Yay. Me too.
Yay. Take care, everybody.